Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and in the words of the greatest manager that has ever lived, while you're sitting in the corner eating soup, I'll be fucking your wife. Yes, Mr. Paunovic. How are you? Hope everyone's doing well. Hope we're all doing well. This is a different way we're recording this today. We're seeing how it goes. Basically, I haven't got a laptop at the moment, but it will be back next time for another episode. There might be every so often that I change up how I do the recordings, just by the camera quality on here is so much better than it is on my laptop. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it is. Before we get into anything, make sure down below in the description there is a link to all of our social media pages, to everyone that is on the podcast, and the Discord as well, which we talk to all Reading fans, all WWE, every work in life. We also have a mental health section as well, where if you're struggling with anything, you can put in there what you're struggling, and then someone will be able to chat with you on there as well, and then go in there. But before we get into the Wycombe game and anything like that, there was an incident that happened on Tuesday evening where Adam and David they always do an Instagram live after the game. It's either Ryan, it's either David, or Adam will bring people on, but Adam is the main person now taking the Instagram lives moving forward. The reason behind that is I have 4 other different podcasts that I really enjoy doing. And there's a lot of other things as well that's going on behind the scenes that I'm trying to create for the podcast moving forward, which means certain things are taken out of my hands where I am unable to do the podcast, doing certain things. Adam is very, very good at hosting and doing things that are live and interacting and talking. Not very good journalist. But that's just a joke that we have with each other. But what happened on the Instagram live after the game is not tolerated whatsoever in the social media game, in the podcast community, or any way, shape, form in life. There was racial slurs that Adam never said, but people were sending into the Q&A. There was insults thrown at Adam and David, being completely unreasonable, being very personal, and taking things out of things. Listen, we don't have to do the Instagram lives after the game. We don't have to do it. We do it because we want to interact with you guys. We don't have to do this podcast, but we do it because me and Ryan really enjoy talking a load of shit. I don't have to do 30 other podcasts, but I enjoy various sports and meeting various different people. So don't take what we're doing for granted. We can easily pull the plug and just not do it anymore. When I released a video yesterday, or the day before for you guys, on Instagram and other, I got a lot of DMs from people saying, please don't block us. Please don't stop doing the Instagram lives. Please keep going forward and going. We will carry on doing it. There will be certain times where we won't do an Instagram live, but we will do a live reaction of just straight after the game, where we will do a podcast with Adam, with Ryan and David, or with whoever wants to be in it, and we will shorten the Instagram lives down. Listen, we love doing Instagram live, but we get more views, and it all comes down to content, and it all comes down to viewership. Okay, for us, we want to grow, and the only way growing is sending out content that we can give you. And the issue is Instagram Live isn't gaining the audience that we need it to for us to carry on and pursuing it, and for us to drop a podcast to concentrate on Instagram Live. At the moment, we need to do both. So with the viewership of the Instagram Live, that's going to have to take one step back while we carry on doing the podcast. It will go back to normal once we get the people that really enjoy our content and want to come on, and it will carry on a lot more. But we need your guys' help as well. We need you to share. We need you to like. We need you to tell your friends, tell your families, and tell anyone that you can. There was also an incident as well with a tweet that I sent out jokingly about Gareth McCleary and Jordan Obita. Some fans took that I was having a dig at Gareth McCleary, and you are completely and utterly correct. I can't stand him. And I'm open and honest, and I have said that the whole time, and I have sent it numerous times on social media. So it's not something new. I got told that a certain post that I made was unacceptable, and it was going to risk Gareth McCleary's mental health. to a point where he blocked me about 7 months ago when I called him out for lying. So mental health is something that we practice, but at the same time, we say how we feel. We're not a podcast like most others that will just talk to each other, and everyone's right. Everyone's the same. Me and Ryan have differences on most things, and that's why Ryan stays around. Is because I agree with him on most things, and I disagree with him, and we have a debate. And then at the end of the day, I'm always right, and it always comes out of that. So that's what happens. And whatever people said, I agreed with certain points, but I spoke to an individual, which I will not say on here. But I spoke to someone who turned around to me and said, "You're not in the wrong. You are right in what you said. You're allowed to call people out. You're allowed to express your feelings, and you're doing well with the podcast." So to everyone else, I agree with certain things you're saying, but that's not going to stop me from the content that I create. If you have any problems with the content I create and you don't like it, then you don't have to follow, and you don't have to like, and you don't have to block. You could block us, and we don't care. We will produce content that I feel is good or I enjoy, and then people who don't enjoy it, we don't ask you to interact. Did I tag Gareth McCleary in the content? No. Did I tag John Obita in it? No. Did I tag anyone in it? No. I tagged how I personally think. And if you like McCleary, then you've got your head up your arse since 2016. So he hasn't done anything since then anyway. So if you don't like it, don't look at it. Don't like it, don't comment. Roll on with your day and have a lot of fun. So that's my beginning part rant over. Before we get into it, then, Mr. Ryan, your hair's growing back. How are you? How have you been?
Yeah, yeah, not too bad.
Work all right?
Yeah, busy week, tired, but getting through it, isn't it? At least I'm working.
Do you know what the most annoying thing is?
What?
The more you look tired, the better looking you are. I think that's the only compliment I've given you. Yeah. If anyone's wondering why Josh isn't here, Josh is taking a break from doing all podcasts until March, the end of March, due to just to get himself back on track and everything. So he's not going to be around for a bit, but he's helping out behind the scenes, and he's going to be sending in his predictions as well. So we'll still be talking to him prior to that as well. Let's talk about the Wycombe game. Before the game, you tweeted. Well, I don't think you tweeted, but you pointed out someone's tweet that said before the game, if we lose against Wycombe, then I'll start panicking, which you said that you would agree on. Going into the Wycombe game, before we talk about the game and everything about it, going into it, how confident were you that Reading would win this? Because I know that you predicted a 1-1 draw.
Did I say if we lost, I'd start panicking?
Yes.
I don't remember.
In the group chat, you said, I agree with this statement, saying someone said, if we lose against Wycombe, then I will start thinking about us maybe getting in the playoff.
The thing is, everyone around us isn't playing great either.
It balances out.
What?
Which is weird. It balances it out. Like, we're not playing great.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I'd have panicked a lot more at the weekend had 2 seconds. Let me look at the results from the weekend. I would have panicked a lot more at the weekend had Brentford, Swansea, Bournemouth. Did Middlesbrough get beat as well?
Probably.
No, they beat us, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
But had 4 of the other 5 top 6 teams, or 4 of the other 5 top 6 teams not have lost as well, I'd have panicked a lot more. And then as well, after the game on Tuesday night, the following night, Bournemouth dropped points again.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're now in a position where we are definitely looking behind us. That's a given, especially when you've got Barnsley, who are playing very well, Cardiff, who are playing very well, Middlesbrough, who are playing well but a bit patchy.
So here we go. So here's the team lineup, and I want to get your opinion on it. The lineup, the starting 11 was Raphael, Holmes, Morrison, McIntyre, Moore, Lauren, Reno, Semedo, Ijaria, Olise, Joao, and on the bench was Southwood, Estevez, Richards, Yeardom, Dorset, Tetic, Luco, Baldock, and Puskas. Seeing that starting 11, a lot of people criticised it, saying it was very defensive. You have the four back four. I'll get my fucking words out. As all being centre backs, three defensive midfielders up against the team that are bottom of the league and have probably one of the worst defensive records in the league. What was your take on the starting 11? That's what majority of people were saying. What was your take on it?
See, I looked at it a bit different of a way, a bit differently. Sorry, I can't speak English tonight. Yeah, I looked at it a bit differently. I think I did say in the group that I actually quite like the lineup. So if Richards doesn't play, in my opinion, McIntyre is our next best left back. Especially because I think we all want him to be here next season. And
yeah,
we want him in the team.
Yeah, we do want him in the team.
It's good to see Moore get back, but
yeah,
he got in the side too easily for me.
Yeah, but he hasn't got a reason why not. He shouldn't get back in either. If this was last season's Liam Moore, I would completely and utterly agree with you.
But it shouldn't be based on his performance. It should be based on the performance of others.
But do you think he got back in the team because Richards needed a rest, or do you think that they want, or do you think that they wanted to put McIntyre still in the team, so they just put him a left back and put Moore back in?
I think it was a bit of both. I think it was sort of like, well, he needs a rest, so let's do that.
It's interesting. I want to ask you this question.
First of all, I want to go further up the pitch because Semedo gets so much criticism.
I like him.
So do I. He's not really done anything wrong this season. He was playing in an unnatural position, and I think he's impressed.
I think he's done very well.
Yeah, there's been a couple of times where you're sort of like, yeah, well, wouldn't have done that, or he hasn't looked completely spot on.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, he is a defensive mid playing in an attacking midfield role. Not only that, occasionally he has been the number 9 out-and-out striker.
Yeah.
And I can't particularly think him having an awful game.
No. He's done well. Any game that he does. He's one of those that you constantly get the minimum of 6, 7 out of 10. I think with him, you'll constantly get that standard of he'll have a very good game. He might go quiet in games where you won't know what he's doing, but he's doing something for a reason.
He is this season's scapegoat.
Oh, God, yeah.
To an extent, I also think there's been times this season where Raphael has been unfairly criticised. Yeah, he's made a few mistakes, but I've seen things where I've seen people blaming him, and I'm like, well, what has he done wrong there?
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of people that were talking about putting Southwood in for the next game, and I went, why? I still don't get that. If Southwood, as I said on the last podcast, as I said with you as well, if Southwood wasn't a Reading Academy goalkeeper, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. But because he's come from the academy, everyone thinks that whoever comes through the academy is going to be the best player in the world. So it's like the only goalkeeper that should have been dropped that never got dropped, I think, in his time was Federici. That was when he was normally constantly having a crap game every game, and he was the most inconsistent goalkeeper we had. But that's what I thought. I didn't rate Federici. But when he was good, he was very good. It's the same with Raphael. I don't understand. I look at what people say, and I still don't get it.
See, in my opinion, I would like to see him dropped, but not because of his form, because I do want to see academy players given a chance. So I don't think he should be dropped because he's playing badly. I just want to see Southwood get a chance in the team.
Yeah, I'm in two minds with it. I don't think you should ever drop the number 1 goalkeeper unless they're extremely poor. where Raphael hasn't, and he's in the top 10 most ranked. I think he's the top 9, 8 or something like that in the best goalkeepers we've ever experienced with the amount of clean sheets we've had. So to be in that record and then people still talking about dropping him, that's not the point. That's not, as I said, if Sam Walker was here and Southwood went out on loan, we wouldn't be having this conversation, or no conversation would be having. The other conversation I've seen is I want to get your opinion on. Is before we get into that, remind me I was going to say something. Okay, just remind me in like 5 minutes. You'll probably forget as well as I will. But I tweeted out the other day before the game, why isn't Reading versus Wycombe a rivalry? I didn't understand, and then I looked into it. We've only ever played them
as well.
Huh?
I answered this as well.
Yeah, we've only.
I think I might have actually put it in a different group. It's the way I see it is it's not really a rivalry because we haven't played them enough.
That's the reason. We've only played them once.
It's also kind of like you kind of want to see them do well.
No, you don't.
I do.
I don't.
It's one of them like.
Yeah, but
if we play,
that statement makes me feel weird because they're the closest. We think geographically, they're a lot closer to us than what Swindon and Oxford are, if I'm right, if I could be right on that one. So for me, geographically wise, that's why I don't want them to do well. At the same time, I don't like the way they play football. So another reason why I don't want them to succeed. There's a number of things. I just don't understand. It's like people that always say, Reading needs to be more like Brentford. No, fuck off. I hate that statement. And that statement annoys me. But to me, I don't understand why there isn't. Like, they pick up every ex-player that we have. They have two that they currently have. Any other ex-players we have that we had, but they always pick up some of them. It's the same with Oxford. It just baffles me. It baffles me sometimes. Anyway, that's what I was going to ask you. Thank you for reminding me.
I'm going to quickly say you weren't right.
What?
Wycombe isn't the closest ground geographically.
What's okay, league-wise, right near. Okay, Basingstoke will be the closest.
No, Oxford.
Oxford closer than Wycombe.
Oxford, Medeski to the Kassam is half a mile closer than Medeski to.
For fuck's sake. That's just annoying on its own. Enjoy the light. If you're watching this on YouTube, enjoy the light.
Also, Basingstoke don't actually play in Basingstoke either. Or they might have moved back, but they were playing in Winchester.
Jesus, that's quite far away.
Yeah, they got kicked out of their ground.
Oh, I saw a petition for them to go back. I think I saw a petition of someone putting on. I was like, no, they suffer because I'm horrible. I'm a petty, horrible person. So Reading versus Wycombe, a game that we all thought, the team lineup that we thought would do well.
You were going to say something before.
Yes, thank you. You actually reminded me. Good lad. Omar Richards and Olise. There's been a lot of talk over social media. I'm not saying it. I know you're going to go in a rant. That's why I'm going. That's why I'm saying over social media.
No, I'm just bored of talking about it.
They have said that due to the expressed interest in Olise, and it looks like there's no official confirmation yet, but it looks like it's going to happen. Omar Richards to Bayern Munich. It looks like they're off, and people are now saying on the internet that because of their fame and where they think they're going, and because of how much the club look at them, that they're not putting the effort in anymore. What is your opinion on that? Do you think they're right in what they're saying? Or do you think that they're just using them as a scapegoat like they do to Tomato?
That's the thing. With Reading fans, you have either there or there, and there's no. Anyone listening, I had my hand as low as it could go and as high as it could go.
Oh yeah. By the way, if you're listening, I keep forgetting sometimes we do where people have to listen. I normally just think about YouTube. Anyway. Sorry,
yeah.
other people.
So it's
Thank you for listening.
It's we lose a game and we're bottom of the league. We win a game and we're top of the league. There's no in between. It's either no one's going to stop us or it's the end of the fucking world.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as we lose a game, all you'll hear is, "Oh, they played bad. Oh, Olise didn't smile as he come off the pitch. He's got an attitude problem." So
it's one of those situations that I look at that Omar Richards is going to be scapegoated now really easy because he's got 6 months left. He's going to sign for one of the best teams in the world. Well, they're world champions now, aren't they? Because they won the Club World Championship, if I'm right. So they're the best team in the world. Just not like Jeremy Clark.
Let's not take that legitimately though, because Liverpool were the best team in the world until 3 weeks ago, and we know that's not true. They're shit.
No, they were at the time of when they won the Club World Championship. They were the best team in the world, and we all know
no, they're not even the best team in Liverpool.
No comment.
Merseyside's blue.
No comment. Talking of Merseyside, my thoughts and prayers go out to Alison, who his father has passed away today or yesterday. So my thoughts with you, and my thoughts are with Jurgen Klopp as well, who his mother passed away as well and was unable to attend the funeral. So my thoughts are with you as well, and to anyone else that has battled or gone through COVID as well with that. But so Omar Richards is going to be scapegoat of that. Olise is a very interesting one for me. I think we're going to, I know that I do this, and I will hold my hands up and say this. With players that I find exceptionally good, or someone who I think has a massive future in football, to be one of the, or could be up there playing with some of the best footballers in the world, I start nitpicking in what I think they need to do better or what they did badly. And I know, and I do this a lot. And I did this with Kevin De Bruyne when he first came to the UK. I didn't really rate him. I thought he was okay. Even after the first 2 seasons, I was like, he's good. But he needs to add something to his game. And now, for me, he's probably one of the best midfielders in the league by far. So with him, there's this little thing that's missing. I don't know whether he's not connecting with fans. He hasn't got the personality to connect with fans. Okay, with what I find, you don't see him on interviews, you don't see him talk, you don't see the personality that I feel like with lockdown that you can't connect with him as. And that's the club's fault. Huh?
Who are we talking about? Sorry,
Olise.
Oh, okay.
Olise. So for me, I've struggled, and I want to get your opinion on this, is to connect with players recently. The last player who I fell in love with, and I will fight to the end of the world, was Danny Guthrie. And he was shit, right? I used to love Danny Guthrie. And ever since then, I haven't really connected.
That's why you don't like McCleary, because you only like bad players. And McCleary was well.
No, he wasn't good.
We got it. We thought it solved.
No, we haven't solved it at all.
That's the title of this video. Mark says greatest of all time.
We should put that as the thumbnail. See what people think. But there's something missing with him personality-wise. I don't think he's connected with a large section of fans, which I think that's the one part of stick that he's going to get. There's also a part of him that just seems like if the game's not going his way, he doesn't grab the ball by the horn and change it. He seems to be someone that goes on the coattails. Yeah, he turns into a passenger. And that's one of the things I really criticise with him is that disconnect from the fans and the passenger. What do you think?
Do you know what? I think the only thing missing from Olise's game is that killer instinct.
Or set pieces. He can't fucking take a set piece for his
Give
life.
him to Swift. And
So when he's not on the pitch, he still can't take a set piece for his life.
Okay, take him off him.
Yes, please. Someone fucking take. I'd rather have bloody Raphael take a corner.
The only thing missing from his game, in my opinion, is that killer instinct. He like, okay, I'm going to go back a bit. Remember Ollie Norwood when he was here? He'd pick up the ball 5 yards in front of the back four, and he was always looking for that next pass.
Yeah.
He had that killer instinct to then, okay, I'm going to say Norwood was the best player in a very bad team. And this, we're talking about scapegoats. I'm going to go back a bit of time here. Mate Vidra, when he was at Reading, was a massive scapegoat. Because...
Yeah, you have a thing for this.
Yeah, the thing is, the style of football we played when he was here did not suit him one bit.
No.
You see, if you ever sat there and watched him, just have a look at him. He was always making them runs to get in behind the defenders. But we played patient football, and he wasn't a patient football player. And he was scapegoated because of it. Yeah, he didn't have a good scoring record, but he's had a decent scoring record everywhere else he's been. So I think Olise misses that sort of Norwood killer instinct where he's always sort of one step ahead, looking for either someone out in space on the left wing or a 20-yard ball over the top to get in behind.
Okay, do you think Ejari is missing that as well?
He's worked on it, but he's still not completely there. I say that because look at him last season. If you watched him play, it was almost like he would beat a defender and then turn back to try and beat him again. He took too long on the ball. Also, he didn't have that kind of finisher's instinct. Is that what you call it? There was one point in the Wycombe game the other day that I could really tell that he'd been working on it, because he had the ball I think it was just going into the penalty area. There was a time, if that was last season, he would have taken 3 or 4 touches, tried to beat the defender. But it come to him, he hit it first time, and the keeper made a good save.
Yeah.
For me, you can see he's working on it, but he's what? How old is he? 23. He's always improving. He's learning.
So let's get into the game. Not the best game. Let's be honest. They go 1-0 up.
Can we say it happened and then moved on?
Yeah. Lucas Joao. I think we've all found his weakness. Penalties. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. His kryptonite, penalties. What do you think with this speculation about playing two strikers? Do you think, okay, so what did you make of Paunovic's tactic? Do you think he's right or wrong? And what needs to improve the next game?
I'm going to answer your question by asking you another question. You say about 2 strikers. How do we make it work? Who comes out of the team?
Olise or Ejari. One of them two has to come out. I think if you're going to do it, you're going to have to go with 3 at the back. I think the way this team is built is a very narrow-minded team.
Okay.
And I think Gareth, who we talked to, is very spot on. No, Charlie or someone says it in wherever we talk. Is if you to then narrow, you're fine. But if we overload the narrow, it's going to be a lot more difficult. So, in my opinion, I think Ejari or Olise comes out until Swift comes back, and then we can go back to it. I think we're also missing Mate as well, who's another.
Who's in contention to be back very soon.
Yeah. He should be in contention to come back Saturday.
I'm going to say now, Mate coming back will be like a new signing.
Yeah. So if Mate's not in the team, I would go with 2 up front with Joao and Puskas, and then Ejaria or Olise behind. Keep Reno, keep Lauren, and then you would have Richards and Yedom left back and right back. And then the 3 centre backs, you would have Natsky, Moore, Morrison.
That's 5.
Yeah, but you're having 3, but then the wing backs. So I class them as wing backs. So they could be classed as midfielders, defenders, attackers. They're going to be the ones that are going up and down.
Does Yedom have it in him to play that role now, though?
No, I think that's why you would have to rotate with him and Esther. I think it's one of those situations that you would have to rotate maybe 60 minutes, maybe 55 minutes, give Yedom and put Estevez on. I think Holmes needs to be coming more into a centre-back role because he's got that ability to do the centre-back role really well. And I think he gets caught out too much, Holmes does. And he's a very good player. Don't get me wrong. If Holmes was starting, I'm happy. I'm fine with it. But he gets caught out a bit too much of pace. That's the only thing.
Okay, so you say coming in to make that sub. Surely you don't want to be that predictable.
Well, no, you would. You do and you don't.
Let me go back.
You look at Rafa. So the only way I think about it is if you look at Rafa Benitez. Okay, Rafa Benitez, you knew that one player was coming off head on 60 minutes. You knew that was going to happen. Rafa Benitez was that predictable that every 60 minutes of every match, you don't know which player it's going to be, or it was always a striker sometimes to come off for another striker if they were drawing or losing. But at the 60th minute or 65th minute, always in between them, there was a substitute.
Wasn't it Lampard Chelsea right at the start where every sub he made, you could always guarantee it was Kovacic for Jorginho?
Yeah.
Was it Lampard or was it?
And it was always Gomez at Reading was always the 60th minute was always Puskas coming off. It always was the same.
So then we become a bit predictable.
Yeah, but you're only becoming predictable with 1. I think if it was predictable with 3, I get that. But if it's predictable, because then you have options. You got a younger, more pace than coming on, or you can have an experienced head that will predict the run. So you have a mixture of things coming on, as well as you can change up, take at least or Ejaria off for Bulldog. Then you have 3 strikers, and then Joao can roam and Puskas can roam, and then Bulldog can get in behind and miss. But agenda alert. But that's what I'm thinking. I think criticizing the manager is wrong to a certain point. Calling him out on how long he takes substitutes is something that's catching up with him. That I think he needs to realise he needs to make substitutes a lot earlier. I think that's the one of his down.
The thing is, are the players coming on? Like, let's be honest, our bench isn't fantastically strong.
Okay, I've got a question for you. Do you think that the club have predicted us at the start of the season to be where we are now?
No, not at all.
And that's why they haven't made the signings where they're doing, and they're more planning for next summer than they are now.
I think it's common knowledge that this season was a building season. That's common knowledge for everyone unless you're Sky Sports.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Because I see a lot of people saying the lack of depth, and I look at the bench, and I go, I don't think it's that lacking of. I think to a certain point.
There's not a lot of experience on the bench.
Yeah. And we're back. Sorry about that, guys. I just had to go and sort family. Our daughter was on the toilet going, "Daddy, I've done a poo." So I had to go and lovely. So where were we? I've completely forgot where we were.
It's been like 25 minutes, man.
No, it'd be like 3 minutes, not even that. Anyway, let's move on. Joao, penalties, kryptonite. I think that's where we were. Going with it. Puskas up front. That's how I'll do it. 2 up top.
Yeah, right.
3 at the back.
That's what we were talking about. I like the idea. I just don't think it will happen at the moment. I think. Okay, let me put it this way. So we've been playing Holmes, a natural centre back at right back, and we've been seeing a lot of Tom McIntyre, a natural centre back at left back. Could we be giving centre backs a bit more experience at this level, even be out of position, to get game time and to get up to the level, knowing that that could be an option for next season?
I think they're planning a lot more for next season than they are now.
Let me look at it this way. So Estevez, to me, maybe a little bit of a panic signing.
I don't think he was.
No disrespect to him. Let me explain. Because at the start of the season, we had Yedom and Araruna, who were both playing well there. And then both of them got injured. So I think it was a bit of, oh, well, shit, what do we do now? And he was available.
I'm sticking to what I said
before. If Araruna hadn't have got injured, we wouldn't have signed Estevez.
No, I agree with that statement to a point. If Araruna didn't get injured, but here's my thinking behind it. I think the club, and I'm just saying hypothetically, I don't know or anything like that. I'm just thinking in my brain what I think the club will be thinking is, I think the club have about 6 names in each position. And I think they have the age bracket in each of them. And I think that if we look at the signings, what we're doing, we're very much building future partnerships, future legacies, future endorsements with other clubs. You look at who we've been linked with: Portuguese clubs, Porto, Benfica, Sporting. Signing players from Premier League clubs. With Arsenal, we've got a link with them because of Kia. All this and all that. We want to build relationships with people that we will benefit from in the future. If you give us our youngsters, sorry,
I was just going to say, just a really random one. I was listening to Neil Warnock's autobiography the other day when I was driving in my van. You know when QPR won the league when they had Tarat?
Oh yeah.
Did you know Pia was playing a behind the scenes role like he is here at QPR then?
No.
Oh, well, Warnock talks about it in his autobiography.
Oh, okay. Wow. See, that's what I think. That's what I feel like. I think Pia is bringing more positive than what people were putting out. I think we wouldn't have Paunovic now. I don't think we would be in the position we are now. I think we would have kept a lot of players from last season.
You know what? I'm going to go as far. This will probably upset a few but you know what? I don't care either.
Welcome to my life.
We wouldn't be in the Championship at the moment if it wasn't for Kia. That. You know exactly what I'm on about. That 1 month.
No, I agree.
That 1 month saved this club how it is now. Had we not signed Martinez, Baker, Miazga, Ajaria, and Nelson Oliveira, we would be in League One.
God, Oliveira. Love Oliveira. Okay, then. So we got Rotherham coming up this weekend, tomorrow, for anyone listening to watching this. 2 more days for us. What is your thinking going into the game? You confident? To be fair, you're always fucking confident. Let's be honest.
I predicted a 1-1 draw with Wycombe.
Yeah, that's a good point. But then, hold on. You predicted a 1-1 draw with Wycombe, but then you've gone on and said that we will beat Rotherham 3-0.
Also, if we do rewind the podcast from last week,
so did I actually.
Rewind this time last week, I did also say we would get beat by Middlesbrough. Even if I did say that to shut Adam up for 5 minutes.
just shut Adam up. The best way to go.
God,
really.
if only he was good at writing as he is at talking.
You know we're going to get messages tomorrow. We know what's going to happen.
Maybe he should focus more on the journalism than the salty messages we're going to get.
Oh dear. I'm not gonna lie, I've got one eye on the Rangers game at the moment and Arsenal. but yeah, so you're confident on tomorrow.
What channel is it?
Anything else? I haven't got it on in the background. I've just got it. I get notifications on my phone.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I've got the PlayStation in the background. So going into tomorrow confident. Anything else you want to talk about that's annoyed you over the past week or anything before we finish?
I feel like you're setting me up for something here. Is there something?
No, I'm not actually. I don't know. People piss me off.
Yeah, there definitely is, but
people piss me off. I'm just sick and tired of the negativity. I spoke to someone the other day, and they do a lot of Twitch stuff, and I was DMing them, and he tweeted out saying, "You really don't understand how toxic Twitter can be when you go on other platforms." And I tweeted him going, "What do you mean by that?" And I DM'd him saying, "What do you mean by that?" And he goes, "I do Twitch streams talking about wrestling. He does wrestling. He's a wrestling journalist, and he does a Twitch stream talking about wrestling news, conversations, blah 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 blah." And he goes, "When I tweet something out on Twitter, he goes, I will get abuse upon abuse upon abuse, saying you're wrong, you're fat, you're stupid, what statement, blah 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 blah." He goes, "I do that on Twitch. I get people going, yeah, but what about this? How about this? I think you're right on this. I think this is how it's going to go." You can actually have a conversation with people on Twitch than you can on Twitter. And it's the same with Instagram. And do you know what? That really lit my eyes up. How toxic of a place Twitter can be. It is mental. And I really did find that out after that McCleary tweet, when people really did get their knickers in a twist over it. You know, am I sorry for what I tweeted? Yeah, no. I'm sorry if it affects him mentally, but I'm not sorry in what I said. I don't like him. I don't respect him. I'm thankful for the goal at Wembley that gave me one of the best experiences of my life. Seeing Reading score at Wembley in the FA Cup, one of the best experiences I've ever been a part of. But has he done anything else for me to go? No. The goal against Burnley, that was meaningless. Maybe the QPR goal, or the QPR goals, because he loves to score against QPR. Maybe, but Jordan Obita was more. I was more hurt with Obita. I always thought Obita was going to be a one-man club. Always thought of it. That's disappointing.
Just a funny one. You were just talking about the Arsenal game. Arsenal are about to go out on away goals. Both games have been at neutral venues.
Are they going out? I thought they were going through. No, because they're not going away on away goal because they're playing at home now. They played away the last game, so they'll be going through. They'll be going to 3 on-way goals.
I thought they'd be going out.
Well, no, because they're at home now. Yeah, this is the second leg.
Benfica have scored 2 away goals. It's 2-2 now.
Didn't they score 1?
First leg was 1-1, so they've got 1 away goals. Benfica's got 2.
Away goals confuse me. Confuses the shit. So it's 3-3 at the moment. Yeah, I think Benfica are going through.
Yeah, but both games have been at neutral venues.
Right, they're not playing at Emirates?
No.
Oh, they're not allowed people in, are they? They're not allowed people in. Lifeline. Oh, yeah, looks like, yeah. Kieran Tierney just scored. Oh, okay. Anyway. Okay, right, that's the end. that's the end of the podcast. Thank you guys ever so much for all the support that you did on the Instagram.
No, it's not.
Thank you very much.
Talk about Rangers.
If you want.
Yeah, because
I don't think people want to listen.
I don't care. I want to talk about Rangers.
Okay.
This was. I think I might have asked you this the other day. So they're 7 points away from mathematically.
You rung me and spoke to me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If you was, let me put it this way. Okay. So you obviously Reading fan, and who would you consider our biggest rivals?
Well, probably Swindon.
Swindon. Okay, what team do you hate the most?
Chelsea or West Ham.
Chelsea or West Ham, okay?
Yeah.
If, say, we were to go up and win the Premier League, this is the situation that Rangers will be in. But if we were to go up and win the league, would you rather win the league away at Chelsea?
We had this conversation the other day.
Or would you rather win the league the week before and get a guard of honour from that other team?
Well, it's quite funny you say that, because I've got some stats for you. Gerrard has been manager now just over 1,000 days as Rangers manager. And in that time, he's played 156 games. He's won 103 of them, drawn 33, lost 20. He has a win percentage of 66.03%. One of the best managers that Rangers have, in the stats-wise, have ever had. And Neil Lennon had to resign because of him. Me personally, I would rather win it before and get a guard of honour, because I feel like it's more disrespect than they have to come out first and clap you out than it is winning it when they can just fuck off. They have to, for me, in their grounds, they have to acknowledge you as the champion. And not only to do it, you are so far in front of them that your manager had to leave.
Yeah.
That's how I think of it.
Yeah, I do understand, but also...
You would rather win it there.
I'm going to use Arsenal as an example, because they've won the league. They've won it at White Hart Lane and they've won it at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
And
I forgot about the Old Trafford one.
Also, like, I would research it, but I really can't be bothered. How many times have Celtic won the league at Ibrox?
Carry on talking, I'll Google.
Yeah, so you always have that over your rivals. Like, Spurs could win the league in 3 seasons time. They're not going to, but they could. And they'll start arguing with Arsenal fans because that's what they do. They're obsessed. They have one good season and their immediate instinct is, oh, how are Arsenal doing? But yeah, they won the league this season, but they'll never be able to say they've gone to the home of their biggest rivals and won the league there.
There's not telling me doing it. But if they stop this, if Rangers win the league this year, which is looking like they will stop the 10 in a row that Celtic have won. So it doesn't say. We will probably look into it more when I come forward, but we're not doing it. But yeah, but no. Right, we're ending it.
That's the end.
Just like Neil Lennon's career.
See you when you're older. See you in the next one. Bye.
Do you know what I found, right? And this is for all the people watching than it is anything else.
Why does it still say recording?
Because I'm still recording. Look, I can do claps. I can do thumbs up.
Rangers are just scored.
Ah, here we go. I can raise my hand. Lower hand. I don't get rid of this now.
You can't. You got to wait for it.
Oh, okay, I got to leave it. Right. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. Hopefully, if you raise your hand, there you go. We're both clapping. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. We will see you guys on whenever. We're coming up with ideas to try new things. So Have a look for one over the weekend. If there's not one over the weekend, we will see you Monday. But if not, all love and all care. We will see you guys very, very soon.
God, that podcast was a mess.
I haven't finished yet, dickhead. Oh, I need to press buttons on this one. Bye. To be fair, it was all over the fucking